name is Zoltán Solanki. I am representing a Hungarian company called EUFIRE EGS Hungary Kft., which is a project company established to develop EGS project in Hungary. Actually, before going about the social aspects of the project, I would like to introduce ourselves a little bit. As I said, EUFIRE EGS Hungary is a project company owned by a mother company called EUFIRE Ltd. It's a Hungarian company specialized in harnessing geothermal energy. We've got a couple of projects already running. These are basically district heating projects. This project, actually, we are taking the lead on the overall project management. We developed the strategy. We put together the financial aspects of the project. We are the main coordinators for keeping contact with the European Commission and the European institutions, as well as Hungarian authorities and governmental bodies. And also, we would like to be the operator of the project once it's ready. Certainly, we've got a strategic partner. I don't think we need to introduce here Mambit in Iceland, but Mambit has a Hungarian subsidiary in Budapest, and we've got very much interaction with them. Mambit actually owns a minority owner of the project as well, which helps drive towards the project development works. Mambit responsible for the geosciences modeling of the project results, and also acts as an EPCM partner for the project, so they help us a lot in the project development work. Let's see what is the current project status of the EGS development. You have probably all heard about the NER 300 program, which was launched in 2010 by the European Commission. Actually, this is the world's largest, in my knowledge, the largest supporting scheme for renewable energy projects. And the first call for tender was announced in 2010. Actually, we had the project idea of the South Hungarian EGS demonstration project, and we submitted our ideas to that in 2011 for the NER 300 program. Certainly, the European Commission conducted a very thorough due diligence process of the projects submitted by the European Investment Bank. And finally, they thought that this project is probably worth for supporting, and we have been awarded almost 90 million euros for the development. In 2013, a lot of legal framework needed to be established, signing contract with the national government bodies and the European Commission. And also we progressed very well with the technological plans. Eventually resulted in 2014 to obtain a geothermal concession contract for the project site area. Actually, this is a legal requirement in Hungary to obtain concession right to harness any geothermal heat below 2,500 meters. So we needed a concession contract to be in place, otherwise the project couldn't be progressed well. Luckily, we managed to do that in the Battonya area, and this is the project site where we are developing this project. Without going very much into the details of what we have achieved, in 2015, I would like to highlight that last year we launched the public outreach activities in the region, connecting to the previous presenter. We also would like to have discussion with the local communities and with the local people. We would like to get their buy-in for the project, basically, to support this project development work. And I will come back later on the presentation how we do that. 2016, actually, this is a very interesting moment today, or these days, actually, because in 2016, we will have the first deep drilling into the bedrock in Hungary in order to artificially create the EGS reservoir deep in the rock. So the first drilling will be drilled in 2016, and then we will start again the seismic monitoring system. That's also a separate system that will be installed around the site to monitor the development of the reservoir creation. And we will also start later on this year the reservoir creation, hopefully. 2017, just to show up, a second well will be drilled, and by completing the reservoir creation between the doublets, we hopefully will be able to prove that this system actually working and could be harnessed. The geothermal energy could be harnessed in this setting, which certainly major milestones will be reached at that time in 2017. So what are the objectives of the project? Certainly, one objective is clearly set by the NER 300 program, and that's it, to generate electricity from geothermal system, from an EGS geothermal system in Hungarian geological environment. That's a clear one aim, that what we have committed to generate a gross power of 11.9 megawatts electricity, which is a quite large number from compared to the already existing EGS system. But we've got secondary objectives and other objectives as well, not just to generate power. We would like to do that in a way that improve the technology itself. So we will involve so-called hydro-shearing activity, which is much more environmental friendly method for creating cracks in the rocks. And that's what we hope to be able to prove, that this is a way that drives further the EGS technological developments as well. We would like to see opportunities for repeatability of the project as well, although this hasn't been already prepared yet. We're already seeking methods to, and certainly notes the methods to be applied later on in different projects as well. Part of this will be to understand the bedrock characteristics of the Pannonian Basin, because the bedrock which we use for creating the EGS system is not very well known at the moment, because no drillings really penetrated into the ground to that deep. So primary information will be obtained from the rock characteristics for this by our project actually, which is very much looked by the geoscientific community in Hungary, to provide data for them and direct information for the background to understand better the geology in this area. Transfer of knowledge is also part of the NER 300 obligations we undertake. So most of the knowledge obtained through this project will be shared to some extent with the European Commission and European institutions and others as well, scientific world. And last but not least, and now we come to the subject of this section, social impact. It's our goal to strengthen the local community and social development of the region by this project as well. So it's very similar approach what we take with the previous presenters' approach they take. What will technically happen, basically we will drill down into the ground, into the bedrock, create there artificially a reservoir by hydrofracturing, and not hydrofracturing, hydro-shearing activity, sorry. We don't want to use hydrofracturing anymore. This is a new method. Alteroc has already tried this, and we would like to implement this into our local circumstances in Hungary. And certainly the water would be pumped down to the cracking system, reservoir, which takes the heat from the hot rock, and that can be extracted to the surface again to use for electricity generation. This is the simplest way. I think the next film will show how we do that. So drilling down approximately 3,500 meters down, and creating reservoir and pump up the hot water. That's the traditional EGS setup, basically. A few words about the project location, because it's important to understand what social environment we need to prepare this project. The project is located in southeast Hungary, near to the Romanian border. Actually, Hungary has an excellent natural geothermal potential, certainly after Iceland, the continental Europe, let's say that, because we've got a higher geothermal gradient, almost double than the world average in general. The project location itself has a high heat flow density, and also on the left-hand side, your left-hand side, you can see the concession area. This is actually the narrowed area in which the project will be implemented between Mezőkovácsháza and Kunhalgota villages. This area, actually, this county, basically southeast Hungary, it's called Békés County. Several characteristics needs to be mentioned to put into context from social point of view. This is one of the least developed areas of Hungary. The GDP per capita of this area is only 56% of the country average. Generally a rural area with excellent soil quality. So basically agricultural activities are very the primary activities in the region. Unfortunately, this area has high unemployment rate compared to the rest of the country. A decrease in population, and in general, we can say that less infrastructure is available in this area, and less investment have already gone into this area. It's also very important to know that with this high cost project which we are developing there, we would like to change this trend a little bit. So let's see at least how we see what are the major social aspects of the project. As I said, it's a fact that the project will be developed in that area, and that area was chosen based on the geology. So the best geological characteristics were identified, and we put the project there. But by implementing this project, we hope that this region will be put on the energy map again. And certainly the project, as we heard here in Iceland as well, not just about generating electricity or heat energy, but also to create jobs. And we hope that our project will generate direct jobs and indirect way, to a much larger extent, additional jobs as well, by encouraging the appearance of enterprises to be appearing in the region. These are the local aspects. However, there are some country-level aspects, as we see, of the project development work. We expect that by implementing this project, this will help the country, Hungary, to achieve its renewable targets, as well as to carbon dioxide reduction goals. Because the operation of the project has no really negative environmental aspects, and during the development work, those arising from, for instance, from the reservoir creation methodology, I'm thinking about the seismic activities that might occur. Those are all manageable, and this is why we introduced the hydro shearing activities, which we hope that it's going to be helping to us to manage much better than in previous EGS projects. And also it's an aspect that we try to drive this project to contribute significantly to the overall EGS technology development work in the world, to improve the technology itself and driving towards to get a much more commercialized system, EGS, which is currently not the case. In order to manage all these aspects in a proper way, our communications director have developed a couple of tools, communication tools to be used during the project. Certainly these are either containing events or online presence, and certainly associated education as well. Let's see some of these in details. I have already mentioned the public outreach events. Basically, this is how we call the meeting with locals, with local communities, people there. We invited them to meetings where we explained to them how the project is going to be implemented, what they can expect, what risk the project represents. And they were very, very happy to hear that. Actually, we would like to do this on a regular basis, every half year, more or less, if can. We have already held 2 of these, and it was very, very successful. We see that based on that, talking to people, local people, directly can support the project very much. We can get a buy-in from them for the project and support for the project. This similar activities is the Mayors Forum. This is how we call them. When we basically explain to local mayors of the local municipalities what this project is, how does this project is progressing, what are the main features, what are the next steps, so that the mayors are informed, and then the locals can go to them to ask questions. We regularly had so-called media club events, which is for the journalists, basically. We give them information materials, we allow them to have interviews about the project, and in this way we can drive a little bit of their appearance, what's appearing in the newspapers about the project. Info Day, that's one occasion what we are planning basically the end of this year, this month, sorry. It is going to be organized for decision makers, for experts, for media people to understand clearly, what is this project about and how they can help in improving further. EGS evenings, we plan this later on the year. It's much more informal forum, club-type activity would be for decision makers. And we've tried to involve them to have an ongoing discussion about EGS technology. To save time, I don't want to very much go into the online media. It's clear that it's very important to have a presence in the online media about the project. We've got currently on EUFIRE's website a separate website for EGS, but we will launch very shortly a separate website with all details about the project shortly. Certainly articles and interviews are ongoing all the time, and Facebook and other social media activities will be coming about the project as well. Education. Since this EGS technology is it's not at commercial scale yet. There's always room for educating decision makers and experts or journalists who we are talking to. So that's also part of our role, to explain clearly what are the risks and what are the associated benefits of an EGS project. We also provide separate education campaigns for different stakeholder groups, students, experts, journalists. We've got a concourse for students, just as an interest, where we would like to engage students to develop a physical model for EGS that could be interesting project for them, and we've got a prize available for them. So these are ongoing activities, and later, if the project is completed and successful, we might think about creating an EGS research park in the project area. Basically, this is Central and Eastern Europe's first EGS project, and we would like to have a showcase around that as well. These were the aspects of the project. Now, let's see what impacts or results we expect once the project is completed. Certainly, we would like to see positive local economic and psychological impacts. First, certainly, is to provide a green and sustainable way of producing electricity by geothermal energy. That's our primary aim, certainly, just because to fulfill the NER 300 program requirements as well. However, we also see some opportunities, large opportunities for the industry and agriculture to use the secondary or residual heat arriving from the power plant. That will generate jobs. That's our aim, and reduce unemployment in this area. Certainly, carbon mitigation is an obvious consequence of the project. Cleaner environment for the locals. Hungary is very much depending on natural gas usage at the moment, or basically all heatings are occurring by using gas. So we would like, with this project, this certainly could contribute to increase the independence for fossil fuels. Also, at the same time, providing supply security, power supply security for the country. There will be technical and scientific results. As I said, the hydro-shearing activity, if it's proven successful, that will contribute very much to the technical development of an artificial reservoir deep down. And also, as I said, the bedrock formation will be known in this area. A lot of scientific advantages will be shared with the local communities. There would be potential for project repeatability. So, if it's successfully installed, the Pannonian bases or the Carpathians, within the Carpathians, this project could be repeated, and this is our plan to go further and help to implement more power plants with the same technology, which will certainly support the regional cooperation. I'm not sure I'm on time, but thank you very much for your attention. If you've got any questions, I'm happy to do it.